Hi, and welcome back to Practicing Your English Comprehension. I make these videos for people who are learning English, English learners who need content from native English speakers speaking the language. Input comprehension is how everybody learns languages. It's about being exposed to the language and absorbing it and retaining it in your mind. And you need to consume a lot of content in order to do that. So, today, I wanted to talk about different states in the United States. And if you're planning to move to the United States as an immigrant, some things that you should consider with different states. I personally have a lot of experience living in different parts of the country. I have lived in 9 different states, and I've traveled through like 30 at least, I would say. So I have quite a lot of experience. The first state I want to talk about is Hawaii. To be honest, I don't have a lot of experience because I was born in that state, but I left when I was very young, like 2 years old. But I did hear a lot about the state from my parents and from my older sister. And essentially, the thing you need to know about living in Hawaii is you need to have probably a lot of money. It's probably, outside of California, the most expensive state to live in. It might even be the most expensive state for the average person. The reason is it's an island, and a lot of the goods that need to be consumed by the population, like food and gasoline, stuff like that, has to be imported into the island from other places. So the cost of importing all those goods is what makes it very expensive. Another thing you might run into that my parents experienced is pushback from local Hawaiians, native Hawaiians. There is a sentiment that they very much do not want people moving to the islands, the Hawaiian Islands, if you are not from Hawaii originally. So you might experience some negativity toward you if you move to Hawaii, if you're not a native Hawaiian or if you're not born there originally. So it's just something to consider. The next state that I think a lot of immigrants, especially from Mexico, move to is Texas. Texas is the second largest state by geography, and it's also the second largest by population number. So Texas is interesting. I lived in El Paso, Texas for 8 years, up until like 10 years old. And it's right on the border of Mexico. But anyway, Texas is good. I think, well, it depends. It has a very large Mexican-American population, obviously, because Texas used to be a part of Mexico. But the politics in Texas, for me personally, is a little bit suspicious. It's a little bit not great, especially for immigrants. It's more conservative, and they talk about deporting people and using immigration forces and ICE and things like that. So I don't know if it would be the best for immigrants, but there are a lot of immigrants who live there. And Texas is pretty diverse with the population. And there's a lot of good jobs there and a lot of companies that have their headquarters in Texas. So I don't know. It depends. For me personally, I would say try to avoid Texas if you can. There's a lot of other much better states. Speaking of which, right next to Texas, to the left of Texas, is New Mexico. New Mexico, I lived in for about 6 or 7 years, and I highly recommend it. At the time, I was a teenager, and I did not like living there. But in retrospect, I can see that it's one of the best states to live in. There's not a huge population. It's like 4 million people, I want to say. I could be wrong. But it's a pretty chill place. It's very laid back. It's absolutely beautiful. There's a lot of tradition, a lot of culture. The New Mexican culture is very unique, very beautiful, and I don't know. It's obviously very inspired by Mexico because also New Mexico used to be a part of Mexico in the past, I believe. But yeah, it's also a little bit outdoorsy. Like there's a lot of outdoor stuff to do. They have all 4 seasons of the year, so you have spring, summer, fall or autumn, and winter. Whereas in Texas, you don't really have like that crazy of a winter. It's more so warm. But yeah, New Mexico is absolutely beautiful. I would highly recommend. It's definitely in my top 3 but I'll let you know what my top 1 state is in the next video. So if you want to do part 2, I'll tell you about the other 6 states that I lived in and give you some recommendations as well.